Hello and welcome back to arguably Cass, the biggest episode of the year so far. The Ohio State Buckeyes face the Oregon Ducks Saturday in Eugene, Autzen Stadium, NBC night game. I'm feeling juiced up, man. I'm really pumped to see this one. This is a heavyweight fight. This is gonna make this week's schedule. We were talking about this literally a couple minutes ago, but like the schedule this week is pretty good. But this game is gonna be the game that I think puts this week over the top. I'm excited. I'm expecting a dog fight. I'm expecting it to be like the Notre Dame game, a similar vibe like that, a similar game style. But Cashman, I know you have some thoughts, so I just want to get into this. Like, I know you were fired up prior to the show for something completely, not even related to the game, just some comments and stuff.
Yeah, I this game is like I was saying, this game is more important. A lot of people are saying this game is more important. I mean, obviously it's not important to Oregon fans because they want to come in, prove they belong to the Big Ten. They want to prove, hey, we're in a new conference. We have a chance to win this. However, all the scrutiny, everything that's been going on, all they would say talk about Ohio State spent $20 million on this roster. Um, the last two losses for Ohio State against Michigan and Missouri, the guy is coming back. This game to me feels like it's more important for the Buckeyes to win than it is for Oregon to win. And I'm not saying it's not important for Oregon to win. I'm saying that for the players' sake, the death threats, the threats they got from Buckeye fans, because Buckeye fans are the most ruthless fan base in the country. I don't care what anybody says. These are
So,
kids. These are kids playing collegiate athlete. I'm talking about what Josh Fryer said the
oh
other
yeah,
day.
yeah, yeah. I was just gonna add to it. I was just gonna say with Oregon fans, they're already getting kind of cocky. They when Vanderbilt won last week over Bama, they threw the goalpost in the river. And now Oregon fans are already plotting out the map to throw the goalposts and like, hey guys, you got to win this game first. The last time I checked, you guys are underdogs at home, and I'm feeling good about this game. I'm like, confident, nervous because it's going to be a tough environment because we don't know what we're walking into really. Like I know we've played at Penn State at night. It's going to be an interesting atmosphere. It really is. I think we're kind of underplaying that to be honest. But
I don't think we're underplaying it. I think fans are kind of underplaying it. These guys know what they're walking into. They played at Penn State, they played at Michigan, they played it in Notre Dame. It's not new, like hostile environments aren't new to them.
well, it's
However,
new though. It's new. That's what.
it's new. It's newer, but the hostile environment isn't new to these guys. But this one is newer, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's I think kind of because like with Penn State and Michigan, they when they go there, you have your routine. You usually been there at least once, hopefully, if you've been in the program. But now, like you know where to go and stuff. But this is completely new. They're going to be jet lagged and all this stuff. So it's just like I think that will definitely be a factor to an extent, but it's not an excuse, and it's not going to make that much of a
I
difference.
I think them gaining hours going to Oregon is going to help them then if we were on the West Coast.
That's right. They do. We actually gain the extra, like
So Ryan Day is treating this game like a regular 7:30 kickoff. In reality, it's a like obviously
oh, when they travel there too, bro. They get the out. They gain 3 hours. So like he has, everyone has 3 more hours to sleep technically, and then the game's at 7:30 late. Yeah, I didn't even
and
think
thank God we got a bye week next week.
that's huge. Yeah, no, this is. I mean, if you're gonna go all in on a game like Ryan Day, this is it, man. This is. This is the big one,
I
and we
mean, and
need this.
Cody Simon talked this week about how he lost sleep over the loss against Oregon in 2021. These guys, Denzel Burke said this is why he comes to Ohio State is to play in these games like this. I'm jacked up, ready for this game. Nervous, but I'm not nervous about the game, if that makes sense. I am nervous for these kids, these guys who've been putting in the work all summer long, all off season long. I am nervous for what this Ohio State fan base will do if the Buckeyes lose. That's where I'm
I
at.
mean, I think we need to be realistic because Oregon's the number three team, and we are going to their place. So, like, if we do lose by like a one possession, I'm obviously going to be super upset. But that's not the season's still on. The Buckeyes, like, they're still in position to make the playoff easily.
Win
Um,
win the Big Ten. They would have to obviously win out. But like Ryan Day said this week, we win this game, we control our own destiny now.
yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
And
Uh,
I love the approach this team has taken. They're edgy, they're they're about themselves, but they're also about they know they're embracing this opportunity for this top
Yeah,
five
I,
matchup.
I mean, honestly though, like they win this one. I mean, they really do control their own destiny as long as they could. Because now, like we could technically lose to Penn State, and we're still or like a Nebraska, and we're still okay. Like to win the Big Ten, obviously we don't want to lose to the team up north, but like, and I'm not trying to like say, oh, we could lose here and take the week off. No, I'm just like kind of going over how the schedule would break down because if a one loss Big Ten champ is automatically in, even if they have two losses, Ohio State's still probably in with no championship. Uh,
Yeah.
that's just the way the cookie kind of crumbles. The way the playoff was designed, I feel like.
But I think these players and this coaching staff want a zero loss in that common
Mhm.
column, and the way they're approaching this is the right way.
Yeah, I agree. Um, Looking at Oregon, I guess let's break this down
Let's start
philosophically,
offensively.
offensively. On offense, I mean, obviously you have Gabriel, good quarterback. Um,
Gets the ball out quick. I
very
mean,
quick,
quick.
very quick. And
Turns
then
the ball over in the red zone though. That's the issue.
yeah, they have three receivers. I think Tez Johnson is
They
on.
have one receiver. If you really one lock-in receiver.
Yeah, I mean, I love the trio though. I think Tez Johnson, Trayshawn
Oh,
Holden,
and Evan
Evan
Stewart.
Stewart. That's a really nice trio.
Yep.
And then Terrence Ferguson, the tight end, he is. I mean, he's the
He's
old tight end,
yep.
and he's big. He's like 6'5",
Mm-hmm.
good athlete. Has produced a lot in college, because he's still in college too. So, the offense they got weapons, man. But I think the style of offense they play, because I just think our defense matches up very well with them.
Yeah, and Jordan James not bad at running back either.
No, no,
He's not a world beater, but
no, because they run the spread. So they run the spread option, and I just think our defense is kind of like I feel like our defense is kind of designed to handle that a little well because we're also our guys are fast, and this is a game that our guys' speed is going to show. I
they,
think.
they have two great offensive tackles, but their interior's kind of shaky. They did fix some things on their offensive line that they've gotten better. However, I don't think I don't think any of those three guys in the interior can block Ty Hamilton or Tyleek Williams consistently all night.
I think this game's gonna be won or lost with JTT and Jack Sawyer. I think the guys on the edge, if they got to have a great game, both of them. I
Well,
think that's the key here.
here's the thing, and for them to have a great game, the game plan has got to be really good for Jim Knowles. And I've been saying this all week to some buddies of mine. I said this week, I understand why we played soft coverage. We don't give up the big play. Uh, our DBs tackle great in space. However, we need to press these guys. We need to come out, press them a little bit, allow Dylan Gabriel to hang on to the football a little bit because this offensive line can't sustain blocks as well as maybe Iowa. And
I
I think we can get home as long as the game plan is right. Me personally, what I would do for a lot of the passing downs, like if we get Oregon in 3rd and 6 and 3rd and 8, I'm bringing out Tyleek Williams, Caden Curry in the middle, JTT and Jack on the outside. I'm either blitzing Sonny Styles off the edge or bringing him back in coverage and blitzing Cody Simon up the middle. As long as our DBs are playing a little press, we hit Dylan Gabriel, get him a little rattled, even though they're at home, he's going to make mistakes.
I think Sonny too is gonna have to have a big game, just the way I like he's gonna have to be, getting down to the flats quick and stuff. Because Oregon, they do quick passes and they get the ball out quick. So we're gonna have to rally to the ball and not and really prevent any yak. And
This is a this game is screaming Jordan Hancock big game all day long, all night long. He's going to get more than 19 snaps a game. Caleb Downs, I still think Lathan Ransom and Caleb Downs. I don't I You have to do something with Caleb Downs. He's a great surefire tackler. Maybe blitz him off the edge a little bit.
I mean, dude,
He
this could be a game where he slides down maybe because they're so speedy, Oregon, and he's such a good tackler and he's so fast. We get him closer to the line of scrimmage so he can get to the ball quicker. Because, like kind of who did it for Bama? Like Mark Barron, he was a safety, but then he kind of played linebacker.
what What if they brought in, and this is no shame to Sonny Styles, what if they kept Cody Simon out there, moved up Caleb Downs, brought in Jermaine Matthews as an extra DB, or with Hancock, David Igbenos and Denzel Burke with Lathan Ransom as that free safety, it could work. It really could.
No, I think you do that and then you sub in Sonny too. Like so
Yeah.
you would just rotate back and forth with that personnel group just to give breathers and stuff. But it's like,
CJ Hicks, Arvell Reese.
yeah, 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 absolutely, dude. I think that would cook them.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna. I don't think Oregon's gonna be able to run the ball.
You know who? No, I think it's gonna have a big game. Ty Hamilton, and
Oh
I
yeah,
I feel like he's gonna have a big game because we're hyping up Tyleek and
it's
Jack.
because they're gonna
It's
double team Tyleek.
everyone always forgets about Ty Hamilton, and he's been so productive and fantastic, but no one gives him any credit, and I don't know why.
I just feel like this game screams if we stop the run, Dylan Gabriel is going to throw the ball 50 times
50 times, but for like 418 yards and two touchdowns.
and 2 picks.
We can live with that. That's
I'd
fine.
live with that. This offense is good. Oregon's offense is good. We just got to eliminate the big plays and blitz. Blitz. Like get after Dylan Gabriel. Every quarterback starts off pretty darn good against the Buckeyes, and then once we get Jack or JT or Tyleek or Caden Curry, Kenyatta Jackson get their hands on the quarterback and put him to the ground, regardless if it's a sack or not. Those quarterbacks have made mistakes throughout the year so far.
We just have to get this offense off schedule too. I think
Mm-hmm.
I'm a little rattled. They're gonna make mistakes. I think they're very beatable, and I watched a ton of Oregon games this year. I watched them against Michigan State. I watched the Boise State game. Like I watched all these games, and they're flawed. Oregon, their defense has gotten gashed a couple times, um, especially by Genie. Now I know Genie's Heisman candidate and all that, but I mean, he cooked them. So, like, what do you think is going to happen if we give the ball to Trey or Judkins? What do you think Judkins is going to do? And no offense to Genie, I just feel like if you put Judkins at Boise
We
State
have a better offensive line than Boise
and gave
State.
him the ball that many times, I feel like he would do the same exact thing.
The thing with Boise State is they have one guy. We have Will Howard, we have Travion Henderson, we have Quinshawn Junkins. Now, Birch is a
And
really good
if you think,
player.
if you
You,
think
I'm
Ashton Genie's a freak, wait till you see Jeremiah Smith.
Uh, they have some good players. Botcher is the leading tackler. He's got 16 on the year. Birch, great defensive end. Harmon's a pretty good darn defensive lineman. They have DJ Ungolele's brother. He's got 3.5 sacks. Between Birch and Ungolele, they have 8.5 sacks between the two of them. Solid, solid DBs. Nothing to scream your head about, but really good DBs. They do give up some plays, but they're still the best DBs we're going to face all season.
I
Um,
think their defense has flaws. I
they're
think
they
it's a
do they
good defense. It's not an elite defense.
no, but they do have a pretty darn good coach, Dan Lanning, good defensive coach. But the rumor has it. I mean, we had this a few years ago with Thibodeau. Rumor has it is Birch got carted off the field today in practice, according to message boards. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying this.
So they'd say
I
what
think
kind of injury are they
uh,
suspect?
I don't know. Just what I was reading on Twitter. I'm not buying it. I really ain't buying it. It could be one of those things where Oregon fans are saying, "Oh, we got Birch out, but we could still, I expect Birch to be out there in uniform playing. I'm not pulling this Thibodeau stuff in
I,
2021.
I'm not even because I don't even want you don't even want to root for it, and two,
No,
it doesn't even matter because Oregon proved that like this happened with Thibodeau, and they came out and beat us in Columbus. So that day caught me so off guard back in
it
like
was a
that.
weird day.
No, it was a perfect day. It was the
Well,
first.
no, it was just a weird feeling
I
day.
think it was the first game back in the shoe after COVID, right?
Yes,
That's why it was, but it was no, that's why it was an interesting day because we all had mixed emotions because it was like it was a beautiful fall day, sun was shining, it was big noon kickoff,
yep,
everyone was back, and then but like the band member tripped, and then it just went all downhill, and then they beat us, but like everyone was kind of happy to still be there though, so
it
it
was
was
3 years ago.
Stroud cooked.
Yeah, I mean, I like our offense. I like what I feel like Chip Kelly's going to dial something big up this week. I really do. I think Will Howard, he played very well against Texas last year and against Missouri. So he's been in these moments before. He's been played in hostile environments. He's not getting a lot of credit this week. He really isn't. Uh, People are picking Oregon because of Dylan Gabriel being the better quarterback. Their stats kind of mirror each other, except for Gabriel's got a little bit more yards, but touchdowns and interceptions right there about the same. Um, Will Howard has played really well outside of 3 passes this year. Um, I'm kind of curious to see what Chip Kelly dials up. And these receivers get Carnell Tate back. It's going to be fun to see what Emeka, Carnell Tate, and Jeremiah Smith do this weekend.
I saw something that like Cade Klubnik has like more Heisman hype than Will Howard, which is crazy. And because I agree with your earlier point that Will Howard is just so disrespected, bro. It's
Somebody said compare his stats to Carson Beck and tell me, and without even looking at it, and just look at it blindly without the names. And people would say one of them's a Heisman candidate right now, and the other one's not. And people would look at Will Howard's stats and say he's the Heisman candidate. When in reality, Carson Beck is the Heisman candidate.
I feel like yeah, I feel like if Will Howard does something like leads a game-winning drive, let's say, um, he's got to be in the Heisman
I
conversation.
think if he wins this game, does not turn the ball over, and leads Ohio State to victory, he will be in the Heisman race, hands down.
What if Jeremiah Smith goes 200 yards, 3 touchdowns or
How
something?
can you not put him in the Heisman
That's
race?
what, okay. I'm trying to think. Like, I feel like that could happen. I feel like Judkins, if he went for like 200
Or
yards,
even Trey, one of those
one
two.
of those two would enter. Like, problem is, there's too many good guys and not one really good guy.
But this is a chance to get those West Coast voters. You go out to the West, 2 versus 3. Will Howard, if he has a great game, will enter himself in the Heisman consideration.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I think this year, a Mecca, because I know you said a Mecca Abuka Heisman is one.
Well, next week, that's all of our episodes going to be about. We're going to take a look back. It's going to be 6 games. We're halfway through the season. See how our picks are working. See how our bold predictions are going. And yeah. Emeka's putting up Heisman stats. However,
I
he's
I
getting overshadowed by number 4.
I think he is this year's Romo Dunze.
Yeah,
I feel like that's a Mecca this year.
I
Just that
feel
like
like.
great route runner, crafty, great hands, pretty fast, wide receiver.
Do you think they'll run some jet sweeps with him? Some triple option jet sweeps with him this Saturday? Hopefully not on 4th and 1 like we did against the Dave last year. But the blocking would be better if we
I
did
don't
that.
want it with a Mecca because I feel like every time we run it with a Mecca, it gets blown up. We
Yeah,
got
maybe.
we gotta give it to like Innis.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Jade, I would rather give it to Jaden Ballard on a jet sweep because no one would see that coming. Like a Mecca, I feel like every time we try to do it on a jet sweep, it legitimately never works. But it works with like Jeremiah Smith fine. It's just a Mecca. It feels like that it never works.
I mean, it worked against Northwestern. He scored a touchdown in
Northwestern,
2022.
Northwestern, though.
Oh, Cleveland hung on to force game 5. How about that?
That
That's a
is
good sign. That's a good sign for the Buckeyes this weekend.
I need the Yankees to win too because I cannot have the Detroit team going to the World Series. Um, just quick side tangent. That's not a good baseball team, the Detroit Tigers. I don't care if they make the ALCS. They are not a good football team. I mean, definitely they're not a good
Baseball.
not a good baseball team. They're terrible. Like they're hitting, their roster's terrible. Screwball's great. I just refuse to believe that they're a good team. I don't. What happened to the AL? How did this happen?
I don't know. I don't know. All right, it's time for some score predictions and some predictions for this game. I'm going out on a limb here, and I know this might be a lot of points, but I'm going Buckeyes 27, Oregon 18. And you're like, 18? Where do you get that? Oregon's going for 2, people. Oregon's going to go for 2 at least once. At least once. And will they get it? Maybe. Will they not? Who knows? But I got the Buckeyes winning 27-18. I just think our running game is going to be too much for Oregon. If we establish a great running game, I think it'd be too much for Oregon.
I got I got Buckeyes 31, Oregon 28, and I got Will Howard leading the game-winning drive. Because like we need to get the touchdown, basically, the way the score is. And he's gonna lead the game-winning drive.
So it's going to be 28-24, and he's
Yeah,
going to lead the game winning drive.
that's what's gonna be, and it's gonna be glorious. And I'm gonna say it's gonna be caught by Carnell Tate.
I feel like he's going to have a big game.
Yeah,
I really do.
I do. If he plays.
Oh, he's going to play. I don't think we're going to have any injuries this week.
Funny how that works.
We say that every week.
No, if this week we don't have no injuries miraculously, then I'll know Ryan Day's trolling. He's been trolling all along and just resting guys, doing load management.
Cardell Jones had a great narration of the trailer this week. Oh, it was beautiful. It was beautiful.
He cooked. He did. It was great. That my one nitpick with the trailers is I sometimes wish the music selection was a little better. I just feel like the music sometimes they use is kind of cheap. Like, give us like a good mainstream song or something. It's they I because I know they got to buy licensing and stuff, but Like other graphics teams do like cool songs. I don't know.
I get it. I definitely get it.
Uh, So back to what we were you were saying.
What was I saying? I forget.
We were on score predictions and
Oh,
then
yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, bold predictions
bowl
for
predictions.
this game.
Yes. Okay.
This was tough. A game like this, it's tough to make a bold prediction, in my opinion. Um,
Bowl prediction. I will be
you kind of had one at the to
shape.
end the game. Um, and I kind of mentioned a little bit, but I will say Will Howard will become a Heisman candidate after beating Oregon.
I'm gonna say Jaden Fielding is gonna show up and make a clutch field goal.
Hey, he's going to have to if your scores
A
correct
surprisingly clutch field goal that you would we're gonna be like, oh, there's no way he's hitting this, and he hits it.
to end the half.
Literally.
That would be funny.
That's my prediction.
Uh, Will Howard will have a total of 3 touchdowns. One's going to be on the ground, and the other two will be throwing touchdowns. That's what I got.
I think this is tough, these predictions. I think Caleb Downs gets a pick.
That's a good one. I like that one.
I think if he's or no, Caleb Downs is going to force a turnover.
I like it.
I'll revise it to that.
I like it. Jack Sawyer, JTT, Tyleik Williams will have each have a sack.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. I like it. Um, trying to think, I did defense, an offensive one. Well, Will Howard to lead a game-winning drive. That's my offensive one.
You did defense, so we need and you
And
did
I,
special teams. So I need to do special teams.
yeah,
Man, this one's tricky. All of Joe McGuire's punts will be inside the 10-yard line.
that is that is a bold one. I Okay, that I don't know, Cass. That might be if he does that, he might be the GOAT.
It could happen.
I mean, if he let's say he punts like we punt like 4 or 5 times. If he did that 4 or 5 times, he might be the Heisman candidate, bro.
Hey, if he only punts 3 times, why not?
Yeah, that's wild. Um, yeah, but I'm excited. I mean, I'm a little nervous. We'll
I
see.
am. I'm a little nervous too.
I gotta pace myself Saturday. I'm probably not gonna start drinking till like 5, like a mature adult.
Oh man,
But I have about 15 bottles of bourbon. Thank you, everybody who came to my birthday. Um, but yeah, um, we got games, Cass, other than this one. Let's talk about the other games this weekend. Which ones do you want to pick?
well, at the beginning of the year, this week looked like it was going to be the bomb.com of the week games. And let's start with why are all the good games on at the same time? Texas, Oklahoma, Penn State, USC, both on at 3:30. Ohio State, Oregon, 7:30. LSU, Ole Miss, 7:30. Why?
Yeah, dude, it's ridiculous. I I don't know
Here's
if
an interesting
I
one.
hope the games. I just want to say I just hope the games live up to the hype this weekend. If
Here's an interesting one. It's a 4 o'clock kick at BYU, Arizona, BYU. BYU's a 3-point favorite against Arizona.
I'm going with Arizona just because I've gone with them. I feel like every week, and I can't abandon them, even though they've lost for me consistently. But I like McMillan. I like Arizona. I believe.
I got BYU -3.
This is a fun one. And somehow Tennessee might mess it up. It's Florida versus Tennessee in Knoxville. They're a 15-point favorite.
I got Tennessee by 15.
I'm taking Florida. It's plus 15. It's Florida always plays Tennessee tough for some reason. I don't know why.
They're doing their checkered out for this game, and my cousin was all excited about the checkered out, and he said nobody knows but Vols Nation, and I was like, Arkansas does. He's like, well, they did the stripe out. I just left it at that.
We got this is the SEC elimination game. It is number nine Ole Miss, number 13 LSU. Losers going home. Try again next year. I'm taking LSU
I,
plus
I'm with you, man.
I like they're gonna do it. The LSU's gonna claw back into this.
I somehow, some way, I don't know what it is, but something is telling me that LSU is going to sneak into the SEC championship game. I don't think they're like something is telling me that they are. Do I think they will? No, but something in my mind is saying LSU is going to sneak into the SEC championship game to
Dude,
play Texas because Texas has a great opportunity next week after they play Oklahoma to knock Georgia completely out of the playoffs next week.
insane. Um,
Maybe. Anyway, out
I
of the
got
playoffs.
I got 3:30 Red River rivalry. Number one, Texas, at Oklahoma, and Texas is 14 and a half point favorite.
14?
I'm gonna take it. I'll take the 14 and a half.
Yeah, I'm taking it to. I didn't realize it was that big, but yeah, I'll take it too. I don't think Oklahoma's that good.
Not even that. They're more of a defensive team. It's the Red River like shootout. They're not gonna put up points. Texas is, no matter how good the defense is. Um, I think I like that. And finally, Cass. Um,
There's Penn State, USC, but I feel like there's another game I kind of want to pick on, and that's Kansas State at Colorado.
I
Kansas
love it.
State is a 3.5 point favorite.
It's in Colorado. I'm going Colorado, man. They're
Yeah,
both,
I
they're,
think
they're
Coach
figuring it out.
Prime. I think Coach Prime gets it done.
They're not. I don't think they're making the playoff or anything, but
No,
it's clear that they are improved. It's clear that the line is improving at least. They still have flaws clearly, but who the heck is Kansas State? Who the what does Kansas State have a Travis Hunter or a Shador? They
picture this: BYU, Iowa State playing for that Final Four spot in the first round of the playoff. To get the first round bye in the playoffs. That is wild to me to think that BYU and Iowa State could potentially play for that spot. Someone posed the question because the American Athletic Conference Championship game is the conference championship games are before the Army Navy game, right? What if Army and Navy go undefeated, play in the American Athletic Conference Championship game? Do they go right back and play each other again the final week again the Army Navy game?
Unfortunately, we're never gonna know because they have to beat Notre Dame twice. I'm
But Notre
not gonna
Dame's
lie.
not in their conference.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I didn't even think that. Oh my goodness. That's insane. I mean, that would be the coolest thing ever, honestly. They should make it aggregate, like in soccer, bro. So they just carry the score over to the next week, and then the winner is the winner of the conference championship and the rivalry.
I looked at Army Navy tickets, $400 a ticket.
That's wild. Cass, it's about to kick us off here. We have about 20 seconds. Anything else?
No. Go Bucks, beat Oregon.
Go Bucks, baby. Hey, we got a big one against Oregon. Thank you so much for everyone for listening to another episode of the Bunch of Nuts podcast. Go Bucks, and let's beat Oregon.